Okay, good evening, everybody. I don't know if I've got audio or not, but we'll go on the off chance that I do. Now, um, if someone could give me an audio check, I'd appreciate it. Oh, very good. That's what I want to hear. I wanted to start out correcting something that occurred Okay, if you can all hear me, nice thing about Florida is with the utilities down here, you have a power failure, and that is what happened. The power went out, and so you guys basically were sitting there looking at a picture of the failboat while everything got brought back up again. It's a common problem down here, and it just chose right in the middle of my broadcast to go poofy. I don't know how far I got, but let me start over. Like I said, I am making a bit of a correction to something that happened on my live stream uh, during the week. I had contended that the warrant information would be made public and that we would be able to see a copy of it in time for me to get it on the air, and that other information would be public as well. And I turned out to be completely wrong, so I stand corrected. The warrant has been issued, but it is sealed. Now, I'm in the process of attempting to get a hold of a copy of the warrant through an alternative method, and when I do that, I will give an update. And one thing I also learned is I was wrong on is it is likely that it is more than one warrant. That there is a failure to appear warrant and that there is a contempt warrant, and the contempt warrant is going to be a felony warrant. So once I get the information on that, I will put it up here. It's to do basically a confirmation of everything. Now, let me move on to another thing that happened, and this has to do with Operation Joint Resolve. Timothy Charles Homeseth has been busy the last couple days, and now I gotta figure it out. There it is. And what he has done is he has made a couple posts on his Telegram and on his BitChute channel. And basically what he is doing is he is accusing me of being part of an assassination attempt against the former president. And let me bring this up. When the boot went down, the settings went off. And so let me see. Yep. And what we have is this post. And it goes, assassination plot against Trump underway, ? By Timothy Charles Homeseth, war correspondent. So he is continuing to claim that he is a war correspondent. And he states as follows. Yesterday, I announced my investigation into Operation Chaos, OC, which eventually evolved into Operation Joint Resolve that appears to be a hybrid RICO case that has the attention of a federal judge and Donald Trump's attorneys regarding Trump's RICO case against Clinton et al. Now, what strikes me about this is there is no mention at all in the lawsuit that the former president has made that mentions Operation Joint Resolve, and it does not mention Operation Chaos. Now we move on here. Evidence shows it is a CIA domestic assassination program that may be targeting Donald Trump. The operations involve William Kevin Murtaugh, Apopka, Florida, and his extensive history of self-professed actions of agency to federal law enforcement, including FBI, U.S. Marshals, and the U.S. Secret Service. Now, yes, you're correct. He has done this before. He's done it a number of times. But it's the timing here, and I'm going to get into that a little bit. Plus, he's increased the stakes a little bit. But, so anyway, he is stating that me, a retired truck driver living in a old mobile home down here in a suburb of Orlando, Florida, is somehow part of this huge, massive plot to assassinate the former president of the United States. And also that he is the target of an assassination attempt himself from the organization mentioned here, as well as his controller, Randy Lynn Erickson. Fake federal agents are recently arrested in Washington, D.C. for opposing his Department Homeland Security investigations agents had infiltrated the USSS assigned to the Bidens. That part's true. The warrant said the D.C. operation began around February 2020. Now, basically, the true story is that there's a couple guys, for whatever reason, decided they wanted to play cop. And they got away with it for quite a while. They got caught, and now they're being dealt with. Timmy decided to make me part of this operation. But let's continue. On March 26, 2020, Timothy Holmseth reported, quote, "Why was the U.S. Secret Service involved in county-level custody matter in Kentucky? And why did only one news outlet report it?" The bizarre story involved Logan County, Kentucky Sheriff Stephen Stratton's suspicious interest in the children of Neely Petrie Blanchard. Quote, "When the Amber Alert went out," he stated, "getting tons of good information," Stratton said. "We have a good idea where they are, and then the Secret Service got involved and used their resources to track her phone and social media." Now, unknown to Tim Holmseth, apparently, is that this is not the first time the Secret Service has got involved with a kidnapping. It's done quite a bit. But needless to say, he went over. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Blanchard was an officer for E-Clause LLC, Florida, formed by Christopher E. Hallett, who was performing loss prevention for the U.S. government under consent of Congress. Now, again, there is absolutely nothing anywhere that proves this statement. There has never been any official regulation or recognition by any member of Congress, the Department of Justice, the Pentagon, the Joint Operations Command, anything to verify this contention. So I'm not sure why. All right, for some reason this is being hidden. I don't know what's going on there. By November 2020, Hallett was murdered, Blanchard blamed, and federal court records filed by Halley, some involving Tim Holmseth, days before his murder, would vanish from the court record. Now, think about this, what he just said. Let me read this again so you understand what Timmy is saying here. By November 2020, Hallett was murdered, Blanchard blamed, and federal court records filed by Halleck, some involving Tim Homseth, days before his murder, would vanish from the court record. So there is apparently something in these papers that involves Tim Homseth. But, he says they mysteriously disappeared. No one seems to understand why no copies were made of all these. And of course, it all ties to Murtaugh's fake operations. Now, on August 26, 2020, announced Operation Chaos. He subsequently traveled by air to Minnesota, cameras rolling, to meet with several agents of the FBI in Minneapolis, as well as the East Grand Forks Police. He also left out a couple other law enforcement agencies I met with, but that's there. On September 25th, 2020, Murtaugh published a video and announced he had attended a Trump family rally in Minnesota and approached the USSS to provide an agent with a homemade wanted reward poster and copy of a misdemeanor warrant. Kind of interesting, it was put in quotes, for Timothy Homseth, journalist originally kidnapped by police for publishing information about Epstein and Ukraine baby sales, which he did not do, by the way, and boasted he had gotten Homseth into the USSS system. Well, that part is true because Tim Homseth had an active warrant for his arrest. Tim Homseth is declaring himself to be in very, very, very close contact with members of the Trump family, and I just felt that the Secret Service might want to know about this, considering some of the things that have been happening. So, we have that. And I did subsequently contact the U.S. Marshals at Mar-a-Lago and, told them the story. And this is where it ends. Now, this is the thing about all this. He's making some pretty serious charges against me and the activities that he claims have to do with Operation Joint Resolve. Timothy Charles Homseth has not a clue as to what Operation Joint Resolve is, and I plan on keeping it that way. But Operation Joint Resolve in the last week has achieved some very important goals, and they have exceeded those goals. And these goals have been met and exceeded with the help of Timothy Charles Homseth and Randy Lynn Erickson, his controller. They are directly responsible for the ongoing success of Operation Joint Resolve, and it would appear that a continuation of the success is in order. Timmy and Randy have stepped into a trap of their own making. Timmy and Randy have found themselves in a situation, and they are not aware of it. They are blindly going down this weird path, and they are not aware of the damage that they are doing to themselves. They are doing Operation Joint Resolve's work for it. And, Timmy is just completely oblivious to the damage that he's doing to himself. Randy Lynn Erickson is completely oblivious to the damage she is doing to herself. Neither one of them understand the mess that they have gotten themselves into and the continuing debacle that they I'm still getting messages about the power outage. Apparently, when the software goes off, or when the computer went down, my software stayed on. So everything was there. It just went into this. But I cannot get into too much detail about why Operation Joint Resolve is working. Just that it is working and working quite well. And eventually, later than sooner, I would suspect that they are going to realize the huge mistake they have made. But are they going to correct it? Who knows? We certainly hope not. They got somebody came up, whoever this LCONLEY says, you need a moderator for your channel to keep these bots out. Kind of wondering who these bots are, and we're looking like we're getting into censorship territory. And another comment, that's 7 wasted minutes I'll never get back. Worthless idiots. And another one, wow, there sure is a lot of hatred in these comments. The country would be in great shape if they put as much effort into it. Then this gets to, there's a lot of anti-Semitism on this channel. And this is close to a death threat here. Somebody is saying that the man of lawlessness will soon get a deadly wound to himself, and then his twin will claim that he's recovered from his fatal wound. Not understanding what that's about, but the comments over here are something to read, because this gives you an idea of the kind of people that Holmseth and his controller are associating with, and that is the bottom feeders and the most despicable people on the planet. Well, Michael, it's possibly that they are. It has been said for quite a long time that neither one of them are in control. Randy's personal Facebook has been down for quite a long time. And over on the blog, the last comment made on the blog was I think one of the two has been down since January. And all you see is the advertisement for the t-shirts on the blog, and on Facebook there just hasn't been any comment there in quite a long time. And I saw this earlier, and I have been getting several anonymous posts over on my Twitter account where they say there is something going on between these two. There's no way to confirm it. There's no way to deny it. It just seems rather curious that they basically everybody's AWOL on both sides. And this may have to do with Randy's conduct, that she is failing and failing big. Matt, that is unknown at this point. The board of directors of Twitter are making moves to prevent that, and a large venture capital firm has actually bought 10% of all right, let's try this again. The power went out again, so I'm probably at this point. I may call it a night here in a few minutes because I'm not sure if we had a natural power outage or possibly um, there's been a um, I don't know if it was an accident or something. This happens every once in a while with a power company, and because this is a ongoing thing, I got a bulletin from the power company, and then the phone died. So I'm not sure what's going on. But usually when they send out an Well, my Xbox just came on in the other room. Well, he has a history of being a drunk. He wrote about it in his book. He was on the floor of a hospital. No, I do not, Matt. I don't follow anything that Trump does as far as any remarks. So you would have to get that from a different source because I have no interest in anything that Trump says or does at this point. So anyway, I'm going to do some checking here while I've got a little bit of time. Um, oops. Because I figure well, I suppose it is, but no, the only thing I was talking about is that I am being accused of plotting the assassination of Trump. Uh, for some reason, Tim Homseth thinks that I'm important enough, influential enough, and have the resources at my disposal where I could bring about the assassination of the former president. So, and this is something he's been accusing me of for quite some time, so it's nothing new. Oh, damn it. Why is it coming up there? Well, I hope you enjoy his whatever it is he's doing there. All right. Yes, I know. So, how would an electrician be that important? I'm not understanding what you're talking about. I'm a retired truck driver, not an electrician. Well, that is a bit of a surprise because, um, why am I, what do you, hmm, for some reason the TV got loud. I'm a little surprised he'd be announcing rest in Saudi Arabia because Saudi Arabia is his ally. But, this is not a let's discuss Donald J. Trump board. You're off topic. Um, I suggest if you want to talk about Donald Trump, you go elsewhere because nobody here is interested in him. This is not, this is completely different. Okay, I was checking on the Neely Petrie Blanchard case. There's nothing new there. There's nothing new in the Cynthia Absug case. So, as far as the cases I'm discussing at this point or covering, there's nothing going on there. Uh, and to sum things up for now, uh, there is at least one warrant for the arrest of um, Randy Lynn Erickson. Well, why would I be interested in the guy just because somebody's accusing me of assassinating him? I mean, that doesn't change anything. I mean, I've been accused of a lot of things. That doesn't mean I'm interested in these things. It's just, you know, if you want to discuss Donald J. Trump, go talk to Tim Holmseth because he loves the guy. I think he'd marry him if it was allowed. Um, yeah, the only reason that Donald Trump comes up is because of this accusation that a group that I am alleged to be associated with is trying to kill him. And it's stupid, but that's Timmy. Uh, yeah, Michael, and from what I understand, you turned out to be right in this whole thing, that it's two separate warrants, one for misdemeanor and one for felony. Unfortunately, because of the nature of the case, only law enforcement is going to be aware of these warrants. And it's because of that that I might be able to find out exactly what's going on with these warrants. No, there's no charges against me. There's no investigation of me. There's nothing. This is what these people do. They lie constantly. And there are people that are absolutely stupid enough to believe what the guy says. I mean, I've never seen such a brainwashed bunch of people. They blindly follow this guy, and the only reason they follow him is because they are Trump supporters. They're Biden haters, and so because of his association with them, they believe everything he says, even though common sense and a little bit of basic research would prove that he's full of crap. But you can't argue with stupid. Um, so these people just blindly go down. Uh, Also, well, the federal law enforcement and even state law enforcement are very good at tracking people. Um, there's all kinds of ways to do it. And so eventually, if if it is true that there is a felony warrant, which all indications that I received says there is, they will be found. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Now, I wish now that we got that established, can we get away from the politics? Matt, I don't know why you're in here discussing politics. This is not a politics channel. This is about trials, criminal actions, and internet fraud. Good evening, Leanne. This is not a do I like or hate Donald Trump? Do I like or hate Joe Biden? And it's true, it's really annoying that people come in here and go off topic. Um, if I wanted to talk about Joe Biden or talk about Donald Trump or talk about anybody else, I would put up the header that we're going to talk about Joe Biden or Donald Trump. But that's not the subject of the show. The subject of the show is the antics of internet frauds and some of the weirdness that's going on with this group. So, Matt, if you want to talk about politics, please go somewhere else because, this is not a political channel. I do not discuss politics here. I discuss internet fraud, period. Ryan, I hope you're doing well. Been kind of an interesting night tonight. I'm probably going to log off here shortly because I'm having power problems and I don't know the next time that this thing is going to go poof. Um, yeah, I agree. That's what's going on here. Uh, I don't understand why he comes in here. Uh, it's the same pattern. I can only put up with it for so long. I mean, if he wants to talk about Q, he can go over to the Q boards and talk about Q all he wants. Um, there's other places to go. This sort of thing. Um, here, Michael, what virtually every law enforcement agency has is license plate readers. And if there's a bolo, it's going to come up and trip the license plate meters. And even, the federal, like the U.S. Secret Service, have unmarked vehicles. They don't even have federal um, plates on their car. They have generic plates, so you can't tell who they are. And they have micro license plate scanners. They have ways of tracking phone pings and all kinds of stuff. And so the law enforcement is probably aware of right now where they're at. They're just waiting for an opportune time to snatch them. Um, Not a hard thing to do. But, uh, yeah, I'm going to have some information on Paula and these activities um, as soon as I put them things together. Probably either tomorrow or Sunday, I will get into that situation. Uh, but the gist of what I had to report tonight is that Operation Joint Resolve, which is something I hadn't planned on talking about for a while, has actually had some remarkable successes, and it's been with the help, of all things, of Timmy and Randy and the group around them. Um, so that um, they can keep doing what they're doing because they are helping greatly Operation Joint Resolve. And as a matter of fact, there's a new phase going into effect, from what I understand, uh, based on their successes. They are moving forward with some updates on their activities. And so, and it's been because of Randy and Timothy's help and the help of some of the other people. There's some other people that have um, been helping Operation Joint Resolve, even though they don't realize it. And so Operation Joint Resolve has exceeded its goals, from what I understand. The operation is going very, very, very well, and there is no intention of doing anything other than allowing it to continue. And I will track the progress of Operation Joint Resolve. And also keep track of the activities of Timmy and Randy and how they are assisting Operation Joint Resolve in their efforts to bring the truth out about everything that's going on and continue on with their mission. Uh, and it seems that Operation Chaos, even though it ended, the Chaos Project, is having success all by itself. And it's not, the operation ended a long time ago, yet it's being successful. It's amazing how Tim and Randy are contributing to the continuing success of the Chaos Project, even though the operation ended in September of last year. It's Yeah, I'm quite surprised that these individuals don't understand how much they are helping these two operations. Uh, they are basically giving the success to these operations on a silver platter. That I thank them for it, and I say, yeah, keep it up, keep it up. You're helping us out, so you're more than welcome. And eventually, I will explain why um, what they're doing is helping the operations. But I'm going to keep it kind of under wraps. Maybe some of you can guess what they're doing, but it's suffice to say that it couldn't be better if we tried. We are having success with Operation Joint Resolve. We aren't doing a damn thing. We're just sitting back, enjoying life, and letting Timmy and Randy do our work for us. It's amazing. Well, you're right, Michael. They don't know how much trouble they're in because there's a lot that's not being said, and we're looking at a great deal of jail time for these people. And so all I can say is stay tuned because as these developments unfold, I will keep everybody updated. There are some immediate things in the pipeline that should be coming out here in the next week or so. It's one of these things where you kind of have to do a daily watch because it would seem that uh, unexpected developments are happening on a daily basis. And as I see things that I can talk about, I will put them on the air. Yeah, see, the Operation Joint Resolve is a long term operation. Uh, the uh, successes that the Joint Resolve is enjoying at the moment is actually accelerated from their timetable. They didn't expect to have this much success. I'm sorry, I'm reading something. But it's garnered more successes with the help of Randy and Timmy than they expected uh, without their help. It's they have really contributed. Um, I wonder what caused that, Leanne. Why someone would be hacking your phone. Um, but again, anytime you get hacked, you need to report it to law enforcement. It's a federal crime. Well, if he's not worried with these warrants out there, he better start. Um, because um, she is his lifeline, and if she gets arrested, that lifeline gets cut off. Uh, so Randy has made their situation a hell of a lot worse. Um, and, you know, all I can say is, Randy, just keep hiding. Avoid the law. You have no idea of how you are helping things along. It's, you know, I get the biggest kick out of all this. And I'm going to do one more. Oops. Okay, sleep tight and all that. Get better. Hope things get better for you. Kind of a strange comment here in the past 3 hours. Praying for Mert, Sawyer, Hancock, whoever he is, Finn, and all the cronies behind the curtain to save their souls. It's not looking for them good for them. Who rescues kids, loves Jesus, and chooses a serpent with Viper for a logo name? I don't know. It's that's helping you. All right there. That comment is actually going to help the situation. Praying for divine intervention to take these animals down. Hmm. Yeah, interesting comment by Lucy. If Neely was tracked before, during, and after, these two operations are real ops from the past. How does one find out if new ops are being conducted? While Murtaugh had announced both of them, he has no official capacity. Therefore, he is acting on his own. Well, that individual just called Tim Homeseth a liar. Interesting. That the use of the term viper will not work because these things are very specific. So his attempt to sidestep um, his restraining order is blowing up in his face. He's actually making the situation for himself worse because he is in violation. He did this, saw the man, which is basically Craig Sawyer's nickname, handler, as it were, which is Sawman. And that is clear intent to deceive and evade. And the judge is fully aware of that. So he's stupid. Um, just like she is stupid. Everybody in this group is stupid. They have absolutely no common sense. They have no grip on reality. And it is what it is. And it's going to come back to bite them in the ass. All these, you know, Operation Joint Resolve is having great and ongoing success. They have far exceeded their goal. So that that's where we stand tonight. That Operation Joint Resolve is up and running. It's having success after success after success, and it's going to continue to have unexpected successes because of how these people are conducting themselves. And so, with that, I'm going to close out before I have another power failure and let the power company do their work to try and get everything under control. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, uh, click the notification button, and share. And stay tuned. I will probably be on the air tomorrow. I will see if I have anything to update. I'm sure I'm going to, as developments are ongoing. And these individuals keep trapping themselves in this weird behavior that they're um, engaging in that is helping more than we could possibly have expected get resolution to this situation. So, good night. Have a good weekend, what's left of it, and we shall probably see you tomorrow night. Until then, have a good one.